Out of time.
I forgot to bring my computer to you too. I got you the next time.
Thank you.
So we need some little computers. It's chuckle.
Miss Smith, you want money?
I had some little is it gone?
I have something.
You want some
It's
shit?
the only
No,
thing gonna keep me
thank you.
awake.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I know.
Testing 1, 2. Alrighty. Good evening. It is August 7th, 2023. It is now 5:35 p.m. in the evening. We're going to go ahead and call to order our normal city council meeting, starting from my left, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Diane Howard. Councilman Darrell Honore.
Mayor Reynolds.
Councilwoman Yolanda Shepherd.
Councilwoman Vanessa Wynn.
Awesome. Thank you so much. At this time, we will have a moment of silence. Please mute your phones if you haven't already. All right, breathe. I was doing it for myself too. All right, approval of the agenda. Council, whenever you're ready.
I'd like to approve the agenda for August 7th, 5:30 p.m. council meeting.
All right, is there a second?
A second.
Thank you. Any discussion about the agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much. We're moving forward to the approval of the minutes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it okay, City Clerk, that we can just, read out all of them, stating, and then just do one vote? Is that okay? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we could do
As
it.
long as there's no objection to anything, any changes, we're going on, keep the agenda going forward, so you want to see those.
Gotcha. All right. Council, whenever you're ready.
I make approval of minutes for June 5th, 2023, City Council meeting minutes, June 15, 2023 at 11 a.m. millage rate public hearing, June 15, 2023 at 6 p.m. millage rate public hearing, June 29, 2023 millage rate public hearing, July 6, 2023 City Council meeting minutes, July 7, 2023 special call meeting minutes.
Thank you so much. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion regarding the minutes? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Thank you so much. We are now joined by Councilwoman Inman. Thank you. I see you. Good to see you. All right, public comments. Do we have any public comments? No public comments. All right, and we have the consent agenda. Anything there? No? Okay. I see. Old business, new business. All right. For decision, we have the T-Mobile Hometown Grant and Trucks and Tunes event date change. Miss Renee Miller, did she? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, we have the SPLOST 2. Chief, you ready?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So before you, I want you guys to just take a quick look at this paper right here. So, I'll start with the good news. Our SPLOST doubled. So we went from 1.3 the last time we had it to 2.749.
Wow.
Yeah, so, which is a huge blessing, being that we already have done some good improvements. Now we can really go hit the other ones that we've been talking about for a long time. But there is a caveat to the SPLOST. Did you want to talk about this? You want me to talk about it?
You can talk about it.
So, long story short, the unincorporated portion of the CAB found SPLOST money that was unaccounted for. DMA and all the mayors had met and basically agreed that possibly that money that was unaccounted for should go to the 4 small cities in the county. being Lithonia, Pine Lake, Stone Mountain, Avondale. So I've been working back and forth. Actually, we were left off some emails, but I'm caught up. I've been working with Mr. Bill
Floyd.
With the county, kind of getting him all of our census information, getting him all our exact map. We had to approve a new map for them through GIS. So with that being said, there is an upcoming vote, I believe, on Wednesday.
I don't know when the vote is.
I'm
You
almost,
think it's
I
Wednesday?
think it's Wednesday.
Let them know
once
who.
Huh?
The commissioners.
yeah, with the commissioners to allow that to happen. Now, with that being said, if that does happen, it's gonna bump the 4 small cities up to 1%, which right now we're at 0.361%,
Gee.
which will change our SPOS from 2.749 million to 7.615 million.
Wow, we rich.
Wow,
So,
wow.
with that being said, and I've been going back and forth with the attorneys all week last week to make sure we get a correct resolution, because we do have to currently kind of vote on our SPOS topics, which we pretty much have the same ones: transportation, infrastructure, maintenance and other repairs, facility improvements, and public works, public safety. So with that being said, trying to get a base where we can start, we just have to kind of vote right now to allocate funds to those topics, not individual projects.
Right.
So to give you an example, it used to be DeKalb was under what they call now SPOS 1, because now the new SPOS is called SPOS 2. And the difference is DeKalb was the only county in the state that had to allocate the funds to exact certain projects. Now SPOS 2 is, as long as you vote to allocate the funds for the betterment of the city, and we put a, type of a letter up to go with that invoice or with whatever we're doing, we're allowed to spend the SPOS on the city, i.e., you can for loans with it, you can pay off debt. I mean, there's a whole list that's in there. Once again, we're still waiting on the county to finish the new SPOS. So I kind of just, if you go to the next SPOS page, it has like the sections, and I left those ones blank just so you guys can kind of write in there and just, go with me on this. We want to vote on estimated. We don't want to vote on exact dollars because we're not 100% sure just yet what we're going to get exactly. But being that we do have timelines to meet, I think August 25th is one of our timelines, September 9th, September 15th. So we have timelines we have to meet that we need to get this approved, get the resolution done, and then the attorney can do their thing. At the same time, we're not held to a certain dollar amount because we don't know what the county's going to do, if that makes sense. So kind of where I am right now, and like I said, we just did some basic rough numbers. We can change it around, or we can do percentages. The problem with percentages, it comes down to like really trying to figure out what percent are you going to use, because depending if we get 7.6, we really want to use 20% to one small category when we have a bigger need in transportation or bigger need in infrastructure improvement. So, we can start, I just threw out the rough numbers, like 1.4 million in transportation, 650,000 in infrastructure, 125,000 in 125 in facility upgrades, and 300 in public works and public safety. Of course, there's some other there's a few dollars off, but we just do it estimated.
You said 300 a piece
Facility-
for public work and public safety?
No, it's
It's total,
yeah.
okay.
Facilities improvement. Could we use some of those funds to fix up the Masonic Lodge that was gifted to us?
So if it's owned by the city, and it needs to be, and it's gonna be operated out of, it just can't be property like you just have laying around, not doing anything.
Well, we have to plan what that agenda before we sink money into it.
Yeah, once again, like I said, these are gonna be, when we vote on this, we need to vote on this as being estimated values based off of what we get. Once we know if we do get the bigger spots, then we can come back and say, okay, we want to get this, that. But we need to get this done, so the targets can start their process.
We don't have to spend all of it. It can,
It's over,
Right.
it'll be over 6 years.
oh, okay. That was my question. Cool.
Yeah, so if you look, so basically, right now, what it's saying is we're gonna get $458,227 a year. Wow. Okay, now, if the other improvement comes from the county, then we'll jump up to $1,269,327 a year.
Can you explain the difference? It says option A 1%, and then the first column says 0.63. What is that coming from, though?
So that's our census.
That's
So
our census.
0.361, so we're under 1%. Option A, they're just gonna bump the lowest cities up to 1%. So
Period.
you won't be able to be below 1%.
Okay.
So going forward, basically, after the next 6 years, we'll stay at that 1%.
Oh.
Chief,
So it's coming from, it's coming from unincorporated gas, not the cities. That's been a big debate back and forth right now.
so what's left now, we still have that? It just rolls into.
What we have now. So what we have now is another thing that I was gonna get to. We do currently, myself and Miss Ashley rode around the city, made a list of some things. I also rode around with Munson, made a list of some things, not only that probably need a little attention, but probably need to be fixed. The goal is to compile these lists, bring them to council, kind of, get the ball rolling with all the council thinking about things that need to be done too, and start taking some of the money we have now and getting projects put down on paper. As long as we have the project put on paper, no matter if we spend it this year or next year, it's allocated to a project. It can be done next year. We just need to get it allocated to a project. One of the projects, the entranceway is here, and here the concrete is just broken up. Plus the awnings are real bad on.
And the signs, I don't know if that's gonna cost any money, but I've noticed that a lot, like the stop signs, they're just all covered with green stuff. So if somebody don't stop, what you gonna say? They can't see the sign.
So one of our projects right now, and I just rode around Munson on Monday, was try to look at replacing every sign in the city with gold. Because I did notice the same thing. Right now, I know you guys know we're doing the tree project, we're getting on trees. We have found more
Yes.
trees that are hanging over. Actually, we found a tree that's leaning completely towards a bunch of Georgia power poles. If it comes down, it's gonna be our liability. So we added that to the list to try to get this cleaned up with the trees falling in the roadway. We had it on Klondike Road right here. The trees kept falling. We actually hit a car.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, the tree is not us, and the tree itself's not our responsibility, but it's over the roadway and it's hitting the cars and lands in the roadway. Of course, we're gonna be the first ones and we have to respond. I mean, it's an emergency, it's a compete with traffic. So what we did is kind of look at all the trees that not only are blocking signs, but over the roadway, so we can prevent this from happening in the future.
I'm sorry. Did you include that parking lot when y'all was riding around to one of the projects?
So you talking about the Wigan Street parking lot?
Yes.
So Wigan Street parking lot is currently waiting for the camera truck to come out and run the camera through the sewer system. Once it does that, then we'll get a hydrology study back, which the way I'm seeing this is like, let's just say, even if we didn't get this option A, by the time that we get all this and we get ready to go and we get ready to try to get a bid, spots will be re-upping. We do have other partners that are wanting to put into that parking lot. So I think a collaborative effort between what we'll be getting and what we have and what people want to put in, I don't see an issue with the parking lot. It all, and once again, it all hinges on that sewer drain. I mean, me and Harry have talked and met over several times. If that sewer drain is good to go and we can tap in, our costs just got cut in half, maybe more.
The parking lot and that sidewalk, I think it's broke up.
The sidewalk is included in that parking lot.
And are we gonna try to have any kind of barriers around it, or is it just gonna be like it is now, just wide open?
So the thought on the parking lot, it would be up to council discretion. One option that I was gonna throw out there, which once we get an idea of what's going on, I'm gonna reach out to get some quotes, is to make it a self-paid parking lot, because it'll be a revenue generator. So with self-pay, they can scan that QR code, pay on the app, or pay the pay station. If an officer rides through and notices somebody's not paid, then it's a work.
So it'd be lined with numbers and with a machine. Okay,
Chair,
that's good.
since you guys were looking at the sign, what about the sign across the street that's saying police department? The green sign out there.
That, I mean, there's
Okay.
also one that I wanted to look at, and, of course, it'll be a couple months, and I'll bring it to council beforehand, but actually putting the police department on this side of the building, because I had to cut the bushes, I didn't actually remember the Lithonia Municipal Complex sign right here until we cut the bushes.
And what about
Wow.
on Klondike, where people are coming into the sign saying, you're entering into the,
Yeah, the goal is, like I said, the goal to me would be to change, because there's a lot of signs that are like green with mold.
Right.
There's a lot of signs that even if we clean them, I don't think they're gonna look good because they're just faded. I noticed on Braswell Street, I think there was a neighborhood watch sign that Munson said's been there for years and years and years and years. It's just faded real bad.
Yeah.
So the goal is, and he has a bunch of signs on order, stop signs, yield signs, stuff like that. But we want to go through and make a count of what all is on us and have a list of what possibly we can go with.
Right. That guy is parking trucks down there. The Martin that has that other building. Did you see it? Martin has that other warehouse right down there. Because I don't know if you have a no trucking sign down there. That's the reason we're talking about signs. But
On the left or the right?
it's on the left. He's on the right here. But if you go down further, he has that warehouse.
I think it's Dr. Juju in that one. On the left behind me, all the way to the back.
It's that building. Remember, he wanted.
The brown building?
I think he used to keep tires. No, not the one on the corner. It's okay. If you go to the corner, it's. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, good. Thank you so much. He said he wanted to store tires, but now I see there's trucks there. There's a 18-wheeler, not the whole truck, the cab is there. So it's 2 trucks parked back there. I'm sorry.
Chief, I got a suggestion. I can talk to you about it later. But I don't know what it looks like on Braswell Steel and on Smoky Road. Down that way, if we can start looking at curving, instead of gutters and bad road. Give the people in the area an idea that they live in the city instead of like a country road.
So, that was another thought, 'cause,
You can't with that idea?
no, well, kind of, the
Kinda.
curbing, in front of the Shepherd's house, is actually wrong, and it's eroding I guess the grass and the dirt away. So could cause a big problem. I think the cat came out and actually looked at it and gave a opinion on it. So we're gonna look at that. That's gonna, take a minute just because that is a granite curbing. But when we look at it, we can also, all this can be, like I said, even with the new spots, we're getting not the option A, even with the other one, doubling our spot. That's huge. I hate to say it, but I kind of applaud y'all for what y'all did with 1.3 million compared to, think about what you can do with double that, think about what you can do with quadruple that. It's going to be a whole different outlook. And I think the mayor said best when she told me is the county benefits from these cities just as much as cities benefit from the city. I think that's kind of what their conversation was. So, but as far as the categories go, if we could just get if you want to change something, these are approximate numbers. These aren't set in stone. The attorney recommend we just do an approximate, give or take, depending on what we finally get, what our ending number is. But they need this so that way they can submit this to the county.
Transportation improvements. Give me an example.
Like paving, sidewalks, curbing, anything that has to do with actual vehicles and people. Parking lots, unfortunately, it's not, I think that's big.
That's infrastructure.
It's infrastructure.
Did we get any federal money from that?
Parking, Ms. Ravonda is actually working with John Ossaw's office. And they are kind of waiting on the hydrology study and all that. I just talked about it on Friday. Or, yeah, Friday.
Does that mean the infrastructure money that's been coming down from the president?
So I looked at some of that, and a lot of that was for projects 25 million or more. There's three different qualifications for infrastructure grant: 25 million, 50 million, 75. So if you want to put a highway.
We need to repave some of these, resurface some of these streets.
And the sidewalk on Congress Street is broken.
Yeah.
Remember, we still have LMIG money that will pretty much double for next year because we put it away. So it'll be 57,000.
Did you tell me that the light right here at the intersection of Max Cleveland and Thurman Light Lane, is that the Cap County's
Yeah.
responsibility? Okay.
Can you repeat that again? Transportation means what exactly again?
So transportation is pretty much, if you want to think about anything that has to do with vehicles moving, people moving. So roadways, sidewalks. So like last time when you voted on the smaller
Mhm.
things, you had, like Parkway in Maine, you had Klondike as one, you had all the majority of the roads were on there. Which is something that we're going to visit here the next month or so. That way we can kind of get an idea of what we need to put, to take the money we have now and tie it to a project, whether it's 2-3 months out, 6 months out. Whatever.
Okay.
Small side note. Do we have information or timelines about all of these contractors that are in sporadic parts of the city working on different things? Example, Parkway. Do we have, they don't trickle that information down to us
Yeah.
so that we can know, like they
So
tearing
I-
up the road.
Yeah.
So I talked to Georgia Power about that, and the answer that I give when I talk to the head lady that's at an office in Florida is that they got all this done through the state. It's a huge state project, state funded. All this is, $3 billion project.
So our issues with the state not trickling down the information. Because when
Well, I've
they
already
leave,
gone
we
to the
left to
county.
fix the messes that they leave.
Well, I've already gone to the county and told them that why is it that all these permits were issued to these people to work throughout the county, but nobody else knows?
Right.
Because that was my
No.
biggest issue. So this is currently what I've done, is I put it in place to where, if they're gonna close a road down, they're gonna close a lane down, they have to have an officer out there, not one of us, but just pay them. Because it's getting ridiculous, because I got into, we didn't really get into the passion, but there's a construction company that's just outside the city. What was her name? Y'all know, she stays at, the corner of Phillips and Parkway. She's on the senior center dancing.
Well,
Phillips and Parkway don't come together. Phillips.
Phillips Street,
Oh, I don't know what Phillips Street is. Oh, Miss Fluellen?
yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Unincorporated? That's in the city?
She's in the city.
Yeah,
but the
right
line-
past her
The
is
line
out
is
the city.
there, and they're working on the line. So we've been kind of going back and forth with them.
She can't even hardly get home. I know she can't because I can't get through that and I have to back up and come back all the way around. So that's why I was wondering because, and then this is the second time they paved it, they surfaced it, they left for months. Now they coming back
yeah,
and it's like, when they left the first time, the road looked a mess. So are y'all gonna leave again? And then we stuck with the bill on resurfacing the road.
Well, they resurfaced part
Yeah,
of
it looked horrible. Well, the first time.
Where they resurfaced that, it's on the county, or it's on Stonecrest.
okay.
what's the timeline for the corner? It looked like they.
So they're waiting on, of course, unfortunately, they're waiting on the county and then to come together about moving the fire hydrant.
Really?
Wow.
They should have did that before, shouldn't they?
They kind of, they had to take all that out before the county.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
Sorry. So infrastructure, what are we really categorizing that as so I can make sure?
So infrastructure is anything added or improvements throughout the whole system.
Okay. And that could be anything, like not necessarily a building structure.
Yeah, no, yeah. Not-
Okay.
Not necessarily a building, but
You said anything added or what?
improved throughout the city. Now, once again, remember, SPLOST 2, as long as we do it for the betterment of the city, we can kind of.
Justify it.
Yes, correct.
Okay, got you.
Let's have a meeting.
Now, yeah, I'm curious because I was just going through some papers, like I was trying to declutter, and I saw a sheet from years ago we did. I think it was even in 2017. I don't know if y'all remember that. No, I wasn't here. No, 2019. Y'all remember we had that sheet with the street names and what we wanted? I think I found that. I'm gonna try to take a picture so I don't forget. I know there's a lot of things that still are not done. So do you have that, or do we need to kind of
I
like?
have, and it has street names and things on there that were recommended, but it doesn't have exact projects. So it's kind of like whatever's on that street, if something happens, you can use this bus, i.e. the Parkway and Main situation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I know exactly, I actually looked at it was 2018 and 19.
It was okay. Yeah. Mhm.
All right, council, now we have this down for a decision.
What, to receive the money?
No, the estimates that he gave us for each one of the categories. You ready? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you can vote on the resolution. So I can give you the estimates. If this will be presented as these are estimates, could be more, could be less. Or the attorney, exactly where they recommend 1.4 million to transportation, 650,000 to infrastructure improvements, 125,000 to maintenance and other, 125,000 to facility improvements, 300,000 to public works and public safety. That's all one category. That's not each. So of course, it's gonna be more than that in each category, but we're just gonna start with the lower part of it that way. We know there's gonna be more, even if we get the regular SPLOST. So that's why we're just gonna go low.
So how much did all of that total?
It should be 550 or 1150, should be 25, 2,000 or 2,550,000.
Do we need to read the resolution into the minute?
You said 2,550,000, somewhere it's about.
I mean, we're gonna get more than that, but we're gonna go low and say that, this is the estimated value, whether we get more.
Did you want to say that?
I know we have to read it, a portion of it. You can go on, see, we'll come back to it.
Facility improvement.
They kind of have the same nail shape. Already almost.
Well, right. Color
The
too.
pink colors.
Right.
You say you too? I see it. I can see it from here.
I gotta read it.
Mhm.
Y'all ready for it?
Go.
A resolution by the mayor and city council of the city of Livonia, Georgia, to approve the 2024 City of Livonia SPLOST 2 funding allocation totaling an estimated amount of $7,615,961.00, and for other purposes.
I make the motion to accept the resolution.
Is there a
I second.
second? Thank you.
Y'all ready?
I see. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Did you want me to sign this one or, okay, all right.
Yeah, you already got the monthly repair cost for vehicle. Mhm.
There's no decision, this is just a decision. Am I up again?
Yeah, let's go with you.
No, I guess so. This is just for discussion. I kind of was looking over some things, and now that I kind of approved a lot of the bills, I see everything that is coming through. And one thing that I saw was kind of our repair costs and vehicles. So I started digging even deeper.
Did you skip the Christmas light?
Oh, did my Christmas light?
Christmas lights first.
Okay, hold on, let me back up. Let go to Christmas lights. I do want to throw this out there just to get the conversation going on Christmas lights. I know that was a big conversation last year that some of our Christmas lights are old. If the council would like, I could get a consensus. There is a company in Gainesville, Georgia, that we met with at the GMA conference.
Yeah, we seen them. Mhm.
That not only do they sell Christmas lights, they will repurpose stuff we have if it's stuff that's sentimental or means something to the city. Like if it's something that's just been in the city for so long, they'll take it, add the new LED lights to it, they'll repurpose it and everything. So with that being said, it's kind of, you got to start this month, August, really.
Mhm.
So, if council would like,
Do we need to really save anything?
If that's
I
gonna
was
save
like, we
any
gotta
money,
repurpose.
I don't think we have too much. Is it gonna save any money to use anything old?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Munson, I asked Munson to go through some of the stuff, and he said maybe some of the stars have been around.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, he did say
Stars.
some of the stars have been around just for a
So
long
long,
time.
yeah.
Maybe send those off. Of course, repurposing is gonna take a little bit longer than, of course, buying new. But they're just up the street in Gainesville. The other companies I looked at when we were at GMA, some of them just weren't really closed. I figured that one being would be quicker, being that it is August, and a lot of people probably already have orders in or split orders.
Yep, it was
Was this the one
reindeers
that
too.
you mentioned that was like with the tree and you could walk inside of it?
Yes.
Was that one? Okay.
Yeah, that one. So they said they even did one where the city had a nutcracker, this massive, like,
That would be
25-foot
cute.
nutcracker.
Yeah.
That they
Mhm.
had for 50 years, and it was just kind of fading and falling apart. We went in and redid the whole thing and lit it up. If I could just get an idea maybe of some areas, some focus, either Main Street, Best Park, Grove Street, whatever you guys want, we can kind of look at stuff. I'd like to just shoot it out to everybody within the next week or two.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Okay, I've had an issue with our tree situation and lighting. I don't know if we had made decision to have a tree planted or not. Did we do that? We did.
Mhm. We did.
It was planted, wasn't it?
It was planted?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
One planted and it got destroyed, and then we planted another one that's better.
Oh. Is it big now? Like,
Oh, it's gonna take a while.
okay. Well, is it possible, guys, to consider like something, a big object that will be nice, like it's a grand, like, when we hit the little button to light it up, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because right now,
Like
like
peach
little tree
tree.
situation, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one was like a
Agreed, 'cause
skirt
we
that you
doing
could
big
see
things,
through.
We need big things.
Right? Yeah.
So.
And they got
we'll probably
artificial
have
ones
a
like
big
that.
parade
That's
again this year, which
artificial.
will probably be a lot bigger than this time. I was very pleased with the turnout we had last year.
Mhm.
Get the word out.
Do you think we could use some more benches over there in the park?
Need to be redone.
See, yeah.
Probably for that, yes, but maybe not every day.
Not permanent,
Because a lot of people don't go over there.
right?
Not
It'd
really.
just be a waste.
Yeah.
You'd have to put the ones with the little arms in between so that they can't
So,
sleep.
so maybe later on in the future, we could do something in, Lithonia Park and have something drive around, Brenda Lee Way and just have some nice lights.
Mhm.
We could have like with the bench, like a overhead thing to cover. If we put benches out there, I mean, since if we have those kind of funds, we could put something like an overhead. And then it'll just have to be monitored that people can't, stay there. You know what I'm talking about? Like at the bus stop where they have the seating and they have a cover over it,
Mhm.
something like that in the park. But it has to be monitored where at the hours, you have to put some hours up there where people can't be in that park at that time. It'll have to have the same as the
Now I
other.
got something.
What I think I'll do is
Tell
I'm gonna
y'all.
send out, check your emails, I'm gonna send out, I'm gonna get with them, see what they got, and we'll get an idea on repurposing our stars. Maybe we had something else on my name.
Mhm.
Candles,
The stars and something else.
It was a candle,
the
Yeah,
candles.
like a little candle.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing to add to that list of decorating is that bridge right here. That would be really good for people coming on both sides to see coming in from 124. And
Like a happy holidays and like.
We used to do that, remember that?
Yep. We used to do that.
We used to do that.
Well, I just wanted to kind of get that going.
Yeah.
And everybody think about that because.
Yeah.
It's August, but it'll be.
And while we're on that subject, real quick, I don't know if you all remember, Kelly Park really owns, not Kelly Park, the Housing Authority really owns Kelly Park. Is that still true? Okay.
I thought
Well.
we had records cleaned up. No? God, still?
So long story short,
Okay.
I have asked the executive director, since we've been cutting all these years, we've been cutting the Masonic Lodge and all that kind of stuff. I have asked her, can they start cutting their own property? So of course she said yes. I said, we need new Christmas lights, and we need some help buying Christmas lights as well. So whatever you all can think of, just let us know, so we can in turn figure out what type of budget they have, so they can at least, help us, because all this time we've been doing everything over there. So
Well, I know, wasn't we on that line of thought one time?
yeah, but they're not gonna do it. Mm-mm.
Different person, same issue? Okay.
It's the kind
Oh,
of,
Say that.
Yes.
Thank you.
a little bit, but not really. It's just that she's trying to stay strictly by the book. Because she's saying that even the parking lot that Miss what's her friend name from Housing Authority that passed away,
Oh, yeah.
Callaway.
Ms. Calloway?
she said she really did that incorrectly. But I said, you know what? I'm not gonna visit that. It's ours, and we're moving forward.
So
I know.
Well,
I know.
what if we offered to purchase that for parking right there beside the Masonic?
I've
Lodge?
been trying to do that ever since I've been mayor.
Trying to
What
purchase it, even with Miss
With the
Lady-
green, mhm.
Miss Nikki.
We did the Wiggins parking lot first. So that came underway. That was approved. Then I said, now I'm ready for the Masonic Lodge. Now we need to talk about the Masonic Lodge, that piece of grass,
Mhm.
because we need parking there. That
From the
would help
corner
us.
to the building, yeah.
And before she passed, she stated that won't be a problem. We'll work on it. Da, da, da. And of course, her demise
What
happened.
about the
But then when I
Callaway?
went to the new administration,
Mhm.
they're telling me, Miss what is her name?
Nikki.
Nikki and Sharon Dukes.
Mhm.
They're saying that they can't do the piece of the green. So maybe we can get an attorney to help us to figure
They
that part
can't
out.
get the piece, meaning that
They can't sell it to us, basically.
But Mayor,
They are running up such a bill with us attorney for all the shenanigans.
Yeah.
I know.
You know,
Exactly
that's
what's
what
on
needs
my
to be
mind.
on there and just kind of get that straight.
Okay.
That's what-
Well, I gotta stay on task.
okay, we
Yeah.
gotta stay.
But I was talking
yeah.
about Christmas
I know,
lights.
I mean-
Sorry.
Okay,
Christmas lights.
I know, we went to parking lot.
Christmas lights, yeah. It'll be
Okay.
back.
I'll be sending emails out in reference to Christmas lights within the next, at least by next week, once I get a hold of them and get an idea, so we can try to get an order placed within the next.
You have a book, a catalog or
They have-
something?
I'm gonna ask if they have a catalog. I know he said he could email me pictures and stuff like that, so, and I'm gonna send him what we have, pictures of what we have, and get an idea. The stars and the kennels will be purchased. Other than that, I'm gonna ask for new stuff.
If they have an online site, just copy and paste it.
Yeah, I will.
We'll get it.
I'm not 100% sure how much they're online is because they are commercial and they are
Yes.
catered to,
Big
yeah,
large.
like
corporate.
municipalities and stuff.
Can we, a thought, just Main Street, the lights, can we run some lights down Swift and Kanye Street?
We should be able to.
I mean, because it just makes it look like, we got the city,
paying
and
more
then once you get
attention
there,
than
it's just done,
yeah.
yeah. Just open up the city a little bit more and put some more lights, scattered.
All the way down.
The whole
Street.
edge district, right?
All the way down that
Yeah.
way towards
yeah,
CVS.
because
Yeah.
you don't hardly see any Christmas decoration
Mhm.
coming down Bruce Street.
Right.
You just put, every pole with with some
A
type
candle
of.
or a star,
Uh-huh.
the old ones that we had used. We could-
Yeah, that would be
With
good.
Munson, because I think some of the poles will have to make sure,
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
to see the poles that we do now already have a way to tap into. So they'll have to look at them all.
Okay.
I'll send that out.
All right, police cars.
So next, I know I already started a little bit. So being that I've been looking at a lot of bills and improving them, and I try to dissect a lot of them, okay, where we spending a little too much money, what we do. So one thing I looked at is I noticed like our repair bill is pretty high, which, for the most part I knew, but I even went back. So since December 22 to the end of June, we spent $20,463 just in repairs for vehicles. So I went even a little bit further, dissected it to what was preventative maintenance, what was just normal wear and tear, what was age. The normal wear and tear was around 6,500. That's oil changes, tires, just regular basic stuff.
Mhm.
A lot of age stuff was around 14,000. That was like water pumps, control arms, just stuff that just wears, I mean, because of age over time. So my idea is if council would allow me or would give me a consensus to visit possibly a couple different companies that offer leases and they do the maintenance. One of them being Enterprise Rental. They do the leasing for government vehicles now and they handle the maintenance. They even have a feature, I think somebody said that they do the gas too. But, you know, just to visit it and get an idea as what that would cost, because right now in the budget, we're at 15,000 1 year for one car. I mean, if we add a couple cars and my idea would be if we added a couple cars and we're at a $30,000 one payment a year for a lease, we're still gonna save anywhere between 5, 10, 15,000 in repair costs. So the goal is to save. And we do have two cars that are going to be going out on surplus. One is the 2010 Dodge Charger. They told us they cannot work on it anymore.
That's the blue car.
Oh,
The other one is a 2017 Ford Taurus. We will be getting a check for it. They totaled it out. We did get a check originally for $9,000, but they're telling us it could be upwards of $15,000.
wait, what happened?
We got rear-ended.
Oh,
Like,
that-
was texting and driving.
Oh, right, yeah. So that was a while ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they just totaled it out last week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the blue car that can't be repaired, what you gonna do with? Okay. I was gonna say, you'll need to
So it'll
speak
be
now.
sold. So I mean, I don't have any hard numbers right now. I want to visit, like at least the Ford has a lease program that I just want to get some exact numbers from them to try to work on lowering that cost, especially when SPOS comes around next year. That could ease a lot of pain on the regular budget. Try to figure. And I did speak to the accountant and go over all of it, and she was all for it. She said once I can go get some hard numbers to give to her, and then she would even speak to you guys about her thoughts.
What's your personal experience? Have you ever leased? I'm just curious.
I've never leased, but I know, like,
We have,
yeah, well, that was a different lease. I
okay.
know which one you're talking about.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like the lease Ford has right now. So you lease it, after 5 years, you own it.
Lease to
Oh,
It's a lease to
okay.
own, yes. So
For a
you buy it from them for $1. That's what happened with the Tauruses. But
Oh,
those Tauruses were leased for longer than 5 years. I think it was 6 or 7.
what's the catch though with that kind of like? I'm curious. Like,
When it comes to the government vehicles, there's really no catch.
to the government, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's something out there.
Yeah.
Now I have kind of just like read up on like the Enterprise and just talked to people. I've tried to call people to get their best experience and see who they dealt with. Now, two cities I know, they did the Enterprise thing. Basically they leased 6 vehicles for like $40,000 a year, one payment. That's 6 vehicles completely outfitted. Catch is, I know you guys are gonna hate this, but they will give us a regular car to sit out there and you guys can use that to do it.
What kind of regular car?
Like a regular, so with Enterprise, you can get like the police vehicles, but one out of all the vehicles you get has to be like a regular
Unmarked car.
Chevy Traverse or a
No.
Ford Explorer, or just something, whatever. Yeah, like if you guys had to travel. go to
Yeah,
concerts,
that's
whatever.
cool. As long as it's gonna be a new one.
Yeah,
Go
it's
to
right there.
DMA.
Yeah.
Like go to DMA meetings.
Yeah, DMA meetings, if she's gotta run to the bank, instead of her using
Her own
stuff,
car.
she run to the bank. She also has to go downtown Decatur a lot, but she has to take all the court stuff down there. There would be stuff like that that would always be there for the city. That's the thing I liked about the Enterprise. Plus they do the Enterprise has a maintenance plan. I think it's like $40 a month per car and they handle it. Like if something happens, they handle it instead of it coming out of our pocket. I mean, if you think December to June, we're at 20 grand. I mean, I know, a water pump just went out and at dual store, and that's $2,500.
Yeah.
Because it's,
That's bad. So they all start off brand new, like
everything's brand new.
okay.
You can't, Enterprise doesn't do, in the leases, you can't do like pre-owned. It's all brand new.
They already outfitted, or you gotta get them and then send them to get
We
outfitted.
out. So with Enterprise, we only pay half of the outfitting, which won't be that much, being that our grant already is covering most of the stuff that goes in the car.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Now,
You just have to get
Ford,
car wrapped.
with Ford, they do the outfitting, but of course, in that lease, you're paying for that outfitting.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not like they're gonna outfit it for free, and not charge you.
Mhm.
But see, with Enterprise, they'll change your cars over, what was it, every 4 years, 3 years? Yeah, 4 years.
I want a new car.
Yeah, I think it's 4 years. Every 4 years, what they do is you're just paying basically and we gotta meet with them and stuff to get the specifics. We just kind of pick people's brains about it. You're just paying like the equity on the car. After 4 years, they take the car, they'll sell it, they'll get you. If they make more, they give you money back, but if not, they just put you in a new vehicle. So my goal is to try to lower that repair cost, because 25,000 a year just going out the window.
And we're down how many cars again?
Right now, we're down 4.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, I have 2 officers that don't have cars.
That's bad. We should have budgeted.
So,
So you got 13 listed right here.
yeah, so you got the Charger and the Taurus at the bottom, those are gone. You
Gone.
got the 2012 Charger, right now, I don't see,
One,
one of the 2012, I don't even know when it's gonna be back. It's got, a real bad issue. Apparently happened years ago. You got one Crown Vic that's down right now. That would be our Ford. Them cars,
So wait, we have a total of how many active cars? again?
2009 Ford Crown Vic, surely that's out of, it's running good?
I'm really tripping over here.
I don't have the unit. I just have the door.
Good enough.
I think
That's how you know your cars.
You got 2 Crown Vics,
That
2009,
used to be the car, yeah.
2010.
Yeah,
Yeah. But which one of these cars, which of the cars is costing the most to maintain?
honestly, the Ford Taurus, which the unfortunate thing is,
The 3 of them?
well, one of them's gone.
Okay.
At the bottom, you see that one's going to surplus. So that
Okay.
one's gone. One is in the shop right now. For another pick it up. But basically, the most would be the 2012 Dodge Chargers, both of them. Those are probably, but one of them is a marked unit, one's not a marked unit. The marked unit is the one that's going to be, we're not sure if they're going to be able to. We're still waiting. And then the Tahoe.
The Tahoe, was that the
K9.
K9 vehicle?
It's about, is it oil pump?
What?
He's checking into my phone right now. But,
It looks
that one's probably gonna need a oil pump.
Are those expensive? Oh, well.
So, I mean, this is just discussion. I want to see if I can get a consensus to kind of look at some of those leases to try to see where we can save some money rather than constantly.
Which ones are we still leasing?
We're not leasing anything. We're just paying, we're only paying a payment on the 2 18 Chargers and the 1 19 Charger. We only have, a year and a half left in that, maybe a year and some months. Remember, we only did a 3-year on that.
Right. So those are the only good cars we have with
Yeah,
the
those are the
3?
good ones we have, and those are the ones we're paying on, but other than that, we're not paying on any of the other ones.
How much longer we have to pay on them?
Like a year and some months. And we only did we've been on almost a year and 2 months now on them, so we probably have a year and 10 months.
These are only 5 years old.
What are,
Most of the cars.
the Tauruses are 6 going 7, and the other ones are like 3.
13.
So the lifespan for our police cars is really about 2 to 3 years.
So they say on average, your lifespan of a police car should be 4 to 5 years.
What happened?
That's what they say.
Were they new when we bought them?
Huh?
Were they new when we bought
The
them?
Tauruses were new.
So the Chargers weren't new when we bought them. They was already used, right? So that makes sense why you probably, I could see
Well,
they were new.
The 12 and the 10 Chargers, I don't know about those. Those were here before me. The 18 and 19s were the used ones there, which we don't have really no problems out of those.
Okay.
When they're newer. We've had one or two have some issues, but nothing major. Pretty much everything else we've had some kind of issue with. The 2010 Crown Vic, that was probably one of the better running vehicles. I mean, a lot of them don't have high miles. It's just their age. That's it. The Tauruses have one has 70 or 65,000. The other one has 85,000. And for a 6-7 year vehicle, that's not even that many miles. That's like 10,000 miles a year. Just is that under the national average?
I think so. A lot, 12, okay.
So, but if council will allow, just kind of look into those
Yeah.
just to see.
So yes for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Seems like it make a lot of sense.
yeah, to look into them, yeah.
Alrighty.
Are you doing?
Oh yeah, you have been up here the whole time.
Oh, please,
Might
God.
as well do the police
Okay.
report.
Was that your report though?
Miss Renee Miller.
You wanna give me the name? I warmed it up for you.
Wonderful, how are you?
I am well. We wanted to have an opportunity to come and chat with you all as it relates to some possibilities for grants regarding the amphitheater and giving us an opportunity to be what's identified ramping up for inclusion. As we all know, the amphitheater has been within the community for a long period of time. And while we're not wanting to take away from the character or anything from it, we do want to be able to make those enhancements so that we don't indirectly omit people who would come to the amphitheater, but they don't on the basis of safety. So when you look at the amphitheater or other amphitheaters that you may have visited, and I'll just say Maple House. Maple House at one point in time was a different type of structure, and they did some things differently in order to enhance. And of course, they used quite a bit of funding for that. But I think there's some things that we can do on a lower end just to start so that it is giving more of an appeal to people who may have some difficulties, be it with walking a longer distance. They may have motorized scooters. And many of the events that we host at the amphitheater are for grown people. So, and when I use that loosely in saying that it's for more of a mature crowd. So at the end of the day, we don't want to indirectly keep people from coming on the basis of how it's structured. So there is a grant with T-Mobile that we are exploring to identify and see if there's some possibilities that they can assist on the basis of us being more ADA compliant. And in being more ADA compliant, it's just basically identifying some ramps, identifying spacing for people who may have wheelchairs and or motorized scooters, as well as to get some work done to a different look for the stage. So while the end result is work with respect to the stage, we want to also make sure that it's very pronounced on the basis of, we want to make sure that we're ramping for inclusion. Because in looking at the grant, if we're able to do something differently with the current stage, that allows that stage to be utilized within the city for other events that you may have on Main Street, that you may do Bruce Street, just wherever it is, because then it is collapsible and can be used somewhere else. Whereas you may use something that's a little more fixed and stationary at the amphitheater out of more of an aluminum material as opposed to wood. So I wanted to basically have an opportunity to chat with you all with respect to me just looking at grants. I was like, oh, the T-Mobile Hometown Grant. And the reason that the ADA and stage matter came to the forefront is that in researching some of the past recipients, there's a small community in Texas that probably mirrors Lithonia to a certain extent as far as the number of people in the town. And they had an area, you know, there were rodeos and things of that nature, but they were constantly having to spend revenue for staging and for ramps. And so they were able to write the grant and receive the grant. The only thing as it relates to T-Mobile is that they don't ask for the stage to be identified as T-Mobile stage. They just ask for signage for T-Mobile to be at the venue whenever it is being utilized.
How long would you have to make sure that it's up there? Like, let's say, because we, for example, DeKalb, they came a while back saying, oh, it's in the works for us to give you guys money to improve the stage and the amphitheater. And they themselves, I don't really know how that works, branding in the future. So is that a temporary thing, or is it like, you know?
So their branding is somewhat temporary because they don't say it has to be affixed to the stage.
Okay.
So even if DeKalb County came in at a later date and said, well, we want to do some other advancements or X, Y, and Z, that stage in turn could be utilized in the city. In other, you would still own that stage and that stage would still be portable. It's just a little more durability. What I have seen with our current stage is that sometimes we have people in the neighborhood who may come over, they sit, they smoke, the stage catches a fire, which is why we try to keep it covered. They take the cover, they may try and use it as a blanket. So we just, you know, if you have a different type of material that the stage is made from, that alleviates that, because if that stage catches fire, then, you know, that's just a bad situation for us. That's a bad situation for us.
They were sleeping underneath that wood stage.
Uh-huh. They did. And, you know, and I had made the LDDA aware that we did have a young lady that's homeless and has been there for probably about a year. Just on and off, intermittently, she comes, I think she goes to a shelter at some point in time during the night. But, you know, during the course of the day, if she's not working, she has to leave the shelter. So she comes with her bags and she sits behind the curtains at the amphitheater where she's shaded during the course of the day. And at night, she goes back to that day, or she goes somewhere, let me say. I'm assuming it's a day shelter. And I say that because she's always presented as very clean. So she's bathing and taking care of herself somewhere.
Sounds good.
So the grant itself, as far as for submission, is due at the end of September. So we're working to get it submitted and to get everything done. It doesn't seem like it's something that is going to be too daunting. We're just going to be as compelling as we can. But I just would like for you all to know that if something happens and that one does not come to fruition, you know, Bobcat has one. We're just continuing to look. And for those that are not invasive, because I understand the premise of the board as well as the council, is that it is about the preservation of the space. So as long as it's not invasive, I'm happy to explore it. But when they start to say, you know, we want to be able to identify the stage as ours, or we want X, Y, and Z, and that doesn't work for this particular platform. So I made sure in looking at the one for T-Mobile that it does say they don't ask for it to be identified as, you know, T-Mobile staging. They just ask that a banner is placed up. So even if we move the stage and they said we want the banner up, well, where the event is, we just take the banner and make sure that we take a picture
Okay.
to identify that we are in compliance with what you've asked us to do on the basis of the grant.
So they're only wanting one banner,
I think they had
One,
two up, but
two large.
one or two, and they're not very, they may be 4 foot by 8. They're not anything like at the amphitheater during the season, you know, we have the temporary fencing up. We just put the banner on the fence. So if someone came from T-Mobile and said, you know, did you see placement where the banner's placed, where they placed appropriately, we can always identify that we're compliant with respect to that.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make it invasive, as if to say, you know, the Lithonia Amphitheater, the stage belongs to T-Mobile. So we're not looking at anything along those lines.
All right,
That
council,
sounds good.
Sounds good.
everybody's on board. We have a consensus.
Yes,
She can move forward.
yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
And of course, I'll keep you all updated. I do appreciate that. So during the course of the process, I'll keep you all aware of how the process is going. If we win the bid, we say thank you. If we don't, we just
Move forward.
continue on to look for some other ones, okay?
Can I
Yes.
give you one thing before you leave? I know you love me. I met a young lady at the last concert, and I told her that I would relay that information to you. She wants to know if it was possible for you to get a handicap porta potty instead. She had troubles.
We have one.
No, you know, the bigger one.
The ADA, we do.
So she said she had troubles with it.
She had troubles with the ADA.
Yeah.
I
I
also,
said I was just gonna pass the information.
yes, I appreciate it and I accept it, but
Okay.
we always do regular and ADA. Now, I don't want to say I
Does it
question
have-
if she went in the ADA one because that's
That's
the
the big one.
larger one. And sometimes people will say, I didn't see an ADA one. Well, it doesn't say that
Right.
it's ADA, it's just the structure.
Mhm.
And we always try to make sure it's on the end.
Okay.
But that's another thing with respect to the grant that will help us in being able to do the signage so that
Right.
people know. We can already have those things in inventory, so that, you know, but I accept it. And it does have the hand washing
Station in it. Okay.
on the inside of the ADA.
She must have passed
It's
it.
okay,
I
maybe
passed
she's
it.
too afraid to go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Quick question.
Trucks
Sorry.
and tunes. Oh,
Oh, no. Do we have to vote, right? I'll wait till afterwards.
well,
Oh, I thought
Just
she
a
needed a
consensus.
consensus.
Oh, I thought I
Consensus.
said for decision on it.
Oh, I don't know.
but you can vote on both once she speak about trunks and tunes.
So
Oh.
Trucks and Tunes is the community initiative that we were trying to do at least 4 events. You know, the first one, we incurred rain. And just from doing events, I know that whenever you have rain and you have a makeup day, that makeup day will never give you the same outcome. You know, we had 500 people registered to come to the first one, and then we had just the bottom fall out. So that was something that we ran into. So I want to table Trucks and Tunes for the remainder of this season to a certain extent, because I just need to wrap my brain around some things differently. For me, Trucks and Tunes is much more than just trucks and tunes. It's about the community. It's about getting the community involved. It's about small business owners coming out, having tents set up so people know what is in Lithonia. And in order to do that, that means I've got to put more of my own boots on the ground to get out to some of the local businesses to say, these are events that we're doing. We want you to be a part of it so that people know that you're here and you have things that you offer to people within the community. Anytime someone comes over to the amphitheater, they always speak the first thing they say is, oh my God, this is so cute. We didn't know this was here. And we just need to continue to celebrate those things so that people do know that this is an amphitheater. And while it's not your Stockbridge, your Maple House, your Wolf Creek even, it's fitting for this particular environment. So just, so that's why I wanted to bring up Trucks and Tunes. I just want to kind of restructure that a bit on how it needs to look, because at the end of the day, it's about a focus on the community and it, beyond the idea of coming out. I mean, when we did the one that we did earlier this year, you know, I just thought it was cute how people would send their children across the street to play in the bouncy house. And I'm like,
Right.
it's your mother's liability here. But they came out, they had a great time. But I would really like for those parents to come out as well and to, you know, perhaps have some quality time with us too.
At the event, do you have regular vendors? You don't have like,
Merchandise vendors?
yeah, like we have on there. Okay. So is
We
it,
do merchandise vendors. Typically, it's someone, they may sell clothes, candles. That's typically what it
yeah,
falters under.
bath salts and stuff like that? Okay.
And I try to limit, so when vendors come out, I think sometimes people think I handpick the vendors, but the vendors handpick me. So as soon as they see the event, they're like, oh, okay, I want to vend. Well, if they're vending something in particular, I don't want them to not be able to maximize their income potential. So I don't stack vendors. So if someone came and they did bath salts, I wouldn't have somebody else come and do bath salts, because I really want you to be able to sell whatever your product is. And I'm speaking you generally.
Yeah, but there could be a variety.
There could be a variety, but we need to grow more. I've been in circumstances before where we've had more vendors than needed, and then of course I get the backlash. Now, it doesn't make so you may have bath salts and I may have one other person there, but you wouldn't find 5 people.
Right,
selling the same
right.
thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes people get a little bit out of shape and saying, well, why wasn't I able to vend? So I try to
Rotate.
so that everybody has an opportunity. But then you have certain vendors who they have their eye on certain events because they know the crowd that it's going to bring.
Mhm.
So, but it's just.
Mr. Knight,
Yes,
is your contact information on our website?
I get a lot of phone calls.
How do people get in touch with you? So they calling you and you giving them her information. So why can't we not give them whatever contact info? Why can't we put that on the website?
You can.
Because I honestly get tired of people calling me asking me, who's the lady? No, go to the website. Yeah, so we could direct them to the website. Yeah, that okay with you?
I need to
That's why
call
you can
you.
get you a Google number.
There you go.
Okay,
So-
post it on the site, so they ain't
What
gotta.
happens though is that I'll have a Google number, and I don't mind, my phone rings all the time anyway. So there's certain times, when you're getting ready for events or something is going on, they're calling.
Mhm.
And I don't mind answering the phone, just like when people call about the amphitheater.
Mhm.
I don't mind answering the phone, but it's like, who would you be calling at 2 o'clock?
See, there's a do not disturb under focus. I love it.
Love that.
Yeah.
But I have elderly parents, so that's one of the reasons why.
Got it.
I can show you. There's a way you can select who you want to let still
Call you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
person,
emergencies, yeah. Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
You didn't take my call. You changed your number, Daddy, right?
That was you?
That was you.
You changed your number yesterday and you didn't tell us.
Oh my goodness.
But it's fine. But it's okay. So any other questions or concerns, comments about anything?
I'll just get your number and call
Oh.
you.
678?
Wait, do I have your number?
Everybody get the right.
Ready?
We like,
No, because they,
we'll get it later.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, right,
Oh,
right.
forgot. Is the bathroom in the middle section, like near the playground, is that open? Isn't that where it is?
Mm-mm. You talking about down the cab where the pavilion is? The Cab County created that bathroom facility. Up where the amphitheater is, she'll normally have porta potties right past the vendors.
I was just curious about, I guess that's the cab then.
Mhm.
Is it open all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, just want to make sure.
I was gonna say.
Oh, really?
That's
Jeez. I would be curious, like even with the splash grant, if we can build a permanent, bathroom,
that would be so nice.
and it would help a lot. Look at her. I mean-
We had a conversation.
Oh, you
about
did?
that.
Look at
I second her. It would be nice.
But yeah, so we got you. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, okay, thank you all. You all have a great one.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a good
Renee.
And City Clerk, Miss Ashley, you're okay without the decision? The consensus was, okay. All right.
Yeah, come on, y'all.
All right, Police Department
My
report.
stomach growling.
There you go again.
Get Patterson up here. Yeah. You need
He
to come
won't-
up in front.
He won't do it?
Really don't have anything police department wise. A lot of stolen vehicles will cover. I think like 8 in the past 2 weeks.
Well, they stealing
That
them.
many?
They stealing them from somewhere else, bringing them here. Oh, okay.
What kind of car?
All the
Oh,
ones you won't insure.
oh.
Kias and Hyundai.
Sad.
Don't
Just as far as the admin side, we had, and I'm gonna offer this to you guys too. We had Aflac come back today, offered to the full-time employees today. It can be offered to the part-time employees if you guys want that.
Oh, thank God I have.
So-
Should, but you gotta get it. It's good to have.
So,
like,
I'm gonna send out a date because he's working on getting something for like any part-time or reserve. Kind of get it to everybody if they want to get it. You can
Can I ask a random question? Well, maybe I can't. No, because you mentioned well, part-time, I was curious, isn't there such thing as like a benefit plan for part-time too? I'm just throwing that out.
Are we really? He's not really part
do it.
time.
We don't have any part-time, plus you have to do more than 30 hours a week.
We're kind of like PRN type of deal.
PRN? Oh,
It's needed twice a month.
but you know what I was saying, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
get it.
So there is some companies that,
It won't be worth it. It'll be so expensive.
Yeah. Okay.
so with that, like they'll offer you that. They're even gonna do the reserve officers too, that makes it really good for them.
That's what's up. Is there a group rate? Like, did they talk about already?
I mean, of course, it's a discounted rate, yes, compared to what you get if you walk in there by yourself. I think it's pretty good. A lot of them do. So, but I'll let you guys know if they're gonna come and kind of talk to everybody. They'll present it to you guys, or at least just be with you one-on-one, maybe come and count meetings, whatever.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Sounds cheap. What about the house on Congress Street that was vandalized? Somewhat Saturday.
The house on Congress Street on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Whatever.
Who, Loudmore?
We don't talk about
Someone
the
went, the
street,
lady that's building the house, someone went and, in the bag, took some of the wires out, broke the windows.
Conyers?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, on the corner. That, I don't think you ever reported those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you come give your report?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, he has some good stuff.
Hello there.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just short, there's a lot of the properties that you asked me about.
I'm sorry.
That I've located some of the properties and a lot of the letters, sending the letters out to them and everything. We have one property on Swift Street, that is still going through some property issues. There's a lot of junk. That person, I recommend that person spend 10 days in jail, which that's right. We've been dealing with it for so long, it keeps getting excuses, so we need some progress going into that. The thing I was going through, Chief talked to the attorneys about the blighted properties, getting a ordinance for that, so we can go forward and start going to those farms as it works to clean those properties and go through having a fee, a fine for them, as we do that, we clean those properties up, the fine goes in that, and then we're going to do the legal process. They can't sell their house until that legal process is done.
Good. But you said approve of ordinance?
No, not that. It's,
Oh.
what it is, the council has to approve for
The fees?
to clean
Okay.
that property and bring it up to beautifications, to a point, and we fine them for that, and go through the legal process for that, in that process.
Okay.
Also, we're going to seeing where we have to start processing, we have a home codes, like the top, let's say, 5 codes that I use normally, and have the attorney have that document where there is more after to the city. Because right now, we're not cab, so it says Camp County.
Right.
But it still applies to us. But then those top 5 people, we have to put in there and just be.
That's cool.
Now, a while back, we talked about this back when they introduced the blight ordinance. Remember, we talked about fees. I don't know if that ever,
That's what I was gonna ask.
it's
Did
like
we-
things just come like poof.
Did
you
we,
know, like-
I know, right? Did we ever set on an amount that we were
I
gonna
don't think we
charge?
did, but we did talk about,
There wasn't one set at the time.
Okay.
But we won't get everything done to the church, make sure everything's worded correctly. Ashley has been monumental in helping. Some of the stuff she did.
I thought we voted on something.
Because
we did.
we would need to have the amount cost, based on what the amount people actually charge, landscapers who actually cut grass, what they actually charge, plus a fee.
Once I was talking
It's
with
not bad.
Rosemary about this, she was advising me, she said, what usually happens is she charges the highest paid person's salary.
Salary.
And hourly, and of course, the gas, whatever.
Yeah. So that way we keep a log of how much so we can have the lien for the correct amount.
And then like also I want to say, I don't know if you ever seen something about the housing authority properties. I had asked Mr. Munson not to cut that grass until I could take pictures and see. But so before they can start cutting it, have to go through it. If they're already doing that, I know it's a long time we have been cutting their properties. I asked them, any property that's not city property, take pictures of it and let me know. That way I can look at the processes are and go through and advise them. If you don't do this, you have to advise them doing that. Because they end up charging for those fees because the city is taking expense to cut the properties.
Officer Brooks, a few, couple of minutes ago, the mayor was talking about property that do not belong to us and belong to housing. And I was asking the chief quietly, there is a law that after you take care of a piece of property for so long, you can go down to the courthouse and file for that being your own because you've taken care of it, right?
That's part of the what we're going to turn.
Okay, because I was thinking,
It's an ordinance that I don't know if that's his name, but our regular judge, he gave us some information about what Atlanta does.
And Tunde.
Previous judge, we had also,
A lot.
like East Point, I've been talking to those code enforcement officers to give me information on that.
because I know some of my friends, they have property that the county gave them because they didn't go down and apply for it, but I know a lot of people do have to apply for it because they did the upkeep for so many years. And that's what the city have done over here at Kelly Park, as well
As
other
as on the corner of Rock Chapel and
And that's
Conyers
what
Street.
I was whispering, asking the chief about, but you guys are already on it, and that's pretty good. That's great.
What was I gonna add? Okay, well, to go with what you were saying too, we as a city gave, the back of that land the lady was managing on Parkway and
By Miss Reed.
yes. Oh, we did it for her. I don't see, it should be hopefully easier.
Off that.
Did she lie for real?
But it wasn't at
You know what? You're right.
Not much.
It was like 1,000 something, right?
It was about 26 or
Okay.
But, that was the point I gave and taking care of it.
Oh, and I'm glad you're here. And while you're here, you asked me a question a minute ago not a minute ago, but about the historic portion, right? And so since we're also looking into talking to the lawyers about what you were saying about the top 25, maybe Ms. Dunn, you can get with him on creating something because it's kind of similar if you think about it. And she wanted something specifically ordinance-based for the historic preservation.
There is a section under the cab that I can look at.
Under the,
It says historical preservation.
I think, and Ms. Dunn, correct me, you needed this to do what again? It was something please, yeah, sorry.
I called you, because I've been reading the blight ordinance and we had tried to do a vacant building work.
Right,
And the blight ordinance does cover a lot of things, and it does have a vacant building section to it. But the point of the vacant building ordinance that we were proposing, we're trying to propose, the DDA that is that On Main Street specifically, if somebody had a building that is vacant, which we have several people on Main Street, or they have a building that, you know, they only open occasionally or something like that, that we would be able, especially those vacant buildings and buildings that are blight, that we can kind of force them to, with a fine, to sell the business, rent the business, or put something in there that is, you know, functional on Main Street.
And that's the part that lawyers were saying where it was not.
Right. Well, his
Yeah.
point was we couldn't have a progressive fine. You couldn't have
Right.
a $300 fine and the next time it's $600, the next time it's $900, things like that. So, I mean, we do have to come up with the blight ordinance, I think, could be tweaked a little bit. I don't see how the historic preservation would come in to
Right.
that at all. I think it would.
Oh,
work with-
Okay, okay, gotcha. I guess we'll have to visit another time, but yeah.
Just put it on the agenda
Okay,
and then move forward that way.
I would
I'm sorry?
also suggest that
next work
if
second.
we move forward with that, we also need to move forward with our own, you know, we have two buildings. Both of them,
We'll be charging ourselves.
yeah, especially if they decide.
And the sign it down.
Like, you know,
Um,
even though we try to.
We try.
Yeah, it really needs to be functional. And we need to look at that when we start looking at like,
yeah, that's the truth.
And I have sent out letters
to us, no.
to the property
Next to it,
next to
thank you.
this man was.
Used to be the feed store.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Yeah. It's a little out of
Anything?
control
I
now.
have one more.
Oh, go ahead.
Someone came to me, the building behind here, the building, I know, there's two things they asked me. Do they comply with DeKalb County in cameras and lights? For all, is it only gas stations?
It's gas stations. It's gas stations.
Cameras, gas stations.
Cameras with gas stations. And the second thing, they asked me, did they get any, what you call it, to do repairs? Because now they in there, and of course, they have these machines, it's kind of like a little gamble house, you know?
You talking about right behind us here. They are.
Yeah, they're
Oh, yeah,
working.
so today?
They just have to look, put that little
They
machine.
closed back down. They was just open.
And no AC, the water leak in there, they're trying to do the roof.
So they need to
That's all,
go,
that's all, that's the whole thing. We went through it today.
Okay.
because they definitely be, open them quick, so they were definitely missing some money. But like, you took care of it, thank you. That was just a question somebody asked me.
All right, anything else? You got anything? Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. All right, two things, real quickly, because I need to go in executive session. The first thing is basketball. Remember I was telling y'all about the
Midnight.
midnight basketball? So I got the information from the company that heads it, the one out of that did it with City of Atlanta. I sent the email over to Miss Ashley probably like 15 minutes ago. So tomorrow, just take a look at it and just, you can chime in with your thoughts or what have you. But I had a little concern because when they sent it to me, I saw it was an 8-week total, 6 weeks game competition, 1 week playoff, final week is the championship. Sounds real good, but they charge.
Oh, okay.
So when the program budget per game is DJ sound 800, announcer 500, referee 500, the league administration is 1,200. So that's like 3,000 per week. So my question to them was, what if council didn't want to commit to like an 8-week thing? 'Cause that's a lot of money to me.
Mhm.
So that's like $24,000 probably. So are you all interested in doing something like that? Or should we do not like a competition, but since we already have a yes from the commissioner, should we just try doing it on our own?
I'm not sure I understand.
Okay, so there's it's not a league, it's I won't even say nonprofit. It's a program. And all they do is do midnight basketball. And what it is to keep the children off the street. late at night.
Children in the city.
They're gonna take the children in the city or wherever, whoever wants to come.
Yeah.
On Bruce Street, right here at the Lucius Sanders Recreation Center. I already got approval from the commissioner at the cab that we can do it. They just need the dates. But this particular company, they're just wanting to, have it look real professional. They want like the championship, the ring. Yes.
You would think that.
What about
So-
when they did it years ago, they didn't charge?
Can I say that? I think we got some new,
Because I was like, okay, council may not want to do this since it's,
we got some new
It's
eyes
money.
in our city that Chief has had the pleasure to
Right.
rub elbows with.
right.
It may be worth, presenting that strategy to him to see if he wants to.
Okay.
No.
We can do
I
that.
think that we can do it by
That's a good
ourselves.
idea. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
We can
the
do
whole
that.
Shepherd family can handle it. They know how to run
That makes
stuff like
sense. So what
Run that.
we can run this program by him, and see. And we're talking about our partner, Mr. Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
that'd
Hey,
be
you got a rep right here, you rest like.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, definitely have
So
to
we
pay
can
them.
definitely
Yeah,
do
you gotta
we can
pay.
definitely do it
Yeah.
ourselves.
I get it. Yeah.
What was that?
Just look at your email tomorrow.
Okay.
But what
Okay.
about this?
You just look
If
at your
the
email.
city of Lithonia do it, would it be like no charge at all? Or would it be like it was in years before when they, played late and they used to play late? I don't think it was until 12, but they did play after hours.
Yeah,
And again, it was to give them something to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you talked to anyone over there?
not yet.
Okay.
I was just trying to see what your
I like you keeping it like with us and us kind of managing it.
yeah.
So it
that's
can be sponsored by us.
By
I
us,
like
yeah.
that.
She was
That's a
trying
good
to-
look for us.
okay.
If
Chief.
you say announcer,
They have
I'm gonna reach out.
it's a lot. DJ sound because you want to have music, announcer, a referee, and the league administration.
Maria Janelle, she's the announcer for the Chicago Bulls. She's a good friend of mine. She announces the Chicago Bulls, the Atlanta Dream. She does OTE. She does everything. She lives right here in Newton County, and she's real big on like the Cavs.
Okay.
Mhm.
Her dad grew up here. She's actually the first African American male to win the national.
Oh
Wow.
wow. And see what we just did now?
That's awesome. I
Get
like
our
that.
brains together.
Yeah.
So,
Save
I'm
24K.
gonna reach
Yeah.
out to her. She does a lot of charity stuff.
Yeah,
Night.
we'll just figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, man.
Because
I
basketball
say
is
yeah,
what
man.
fall.
And then you
Kinda
can
late for
coach
some,
people.
but-
He's a referee.
Oh, referee. Okay.
I like that, Mel. I think we should try it ourselves.
Yeah. I rather since it's like that, I rather how we try to get estimates on stuff. Do it the same way because
And
I
then
didn't know it was gonna cost like that.
And then we got local heroes in the city that don't mind volunteering for that type of cause.
Yeah.
We just have to, kind of present the plan and see if they down with it because they volunteered for stuff that I've done.
Mhm.
So you just got to let them know.
Okay.
Blue Street Eagles.
Right.
That's
And that would
one
be great.
exactly.
That would be great.
Some of the Blue Street Eagles.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's one thing. And the other thing, I want you all to be mindful. It's just an announcement. Just like Chief was going through the bills and, we have to approve different stuff. Our attorney bill is high
Uh-oh.
when we call them.
Who's calling?
I don't know.
I didn't call nobody. I just want to say that.
But when we call them, like over and over and over, that's a charge. It's just, that too.
Well, I thought at one time we had decided that there would be one person
Mm-hmm.
that was controlling that. I mean, all of us wasn't just gonna bombard. the
Bombard. It's
attorney
supposed to
because-
go through
Yeah.
our city clerk, so.
I ain't got to worry about me doing. I never do.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you have.
No.
Yeah. So just be mindful of that.
But I have wanted to.
Yeah.
No, they charge by the hour.
I go through you.
Okay. Just be mindful of that. Those are only two things I have. And council member updates. Councilwoman, you have anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think we already had mentioned the All-Star Lodge that for Family Day, they gave out a lot of stuff. They had supplies
hot dogs for the kids, and the vendors was there as well. So it was a decent turnout. My granddaughter sold lemonade. I think she made more than anybody.
That's cute.
Mhm.
She made lemonade. She squeezed the lemon. But yeah, it was a very fun day, and thanks to the line for that.
All right.
Anything?
Alrighty. What about you?
One small thing I think the chief may know about it. I did hear just a little tap of music over the weekend, but it died. It died out, and I was like, I don't hear it anymore. Yep, I was just about to say
Yeah,
so.
truck.
That closed down.
Oh, yeah.
So I was glad about that. The other thing is, what was the other thing? Oh, I want to thank the officers for helping us with our alumni day. That was very successful. So thank you, Chief. And what was the other officer's name?
Warren
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
So yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. That's all I have.
All right, Councilwoman in
For a first time, I don't think I have anything. So.
All right. It's all good.
Between, yes, I would, I'm working on something and I need the support of council, maybe to help sponsor it. In maybe the third week of September, I'm trying to do we are trying to, it's not me. There's no I in teamwork. But what I'm trying to get started is a health fair, maybe from 10 in the morning to 2 at the Bruce Street Senior Center. You know, to just have people come out and update us on what's happening, what's going on, what you need. A medical doctor a practicing medical doctor who is also a holistic doctor. Other people that different ways of healing for different people. What's going on, how to reverse different things that's going on with your body, you know. So hopefully it'll be September the 16th. I'm just trying to get some info. I'm always trying to coming up with something. I sure did. She told me, you know, we'll try. I got to give her an update. And I would not have not announced it unless I did.
Yeah, I just was wondering.
I appreciate that. Not trying to cut you short. Not at all. I did run into it. I did run it by her to let her know, just trying to keep it somewhat, even though we're on Zoom doing this meeting, just trying to get the feel of the people that I have talked to, the doctors that I've spoken to, waiting for them to get back with me to let me know, you know, if they would come out.
I know that you said that this was your initial steps, so that's why I was glad to have you did that part first. Already.
I had to.
Okay.
And then, you know, when I told you, I said, I'm not sharing it with a lot of people. Now I'm sharing it with the whole world. But I did that because you are part of the team. And it wouldn't be, I don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? I have to let people know. I don't want anything to just jump out there. What's she trying to do now? It's what? Because one thing she asked me, she said, have you talked, you know, to the mayor? I said, no, I just want to see where it's going to go, how it's going to start out. I said, but I know I would have to go to council, you know, because it's just about the community, updating people that a lot of people don't get a chance to go to the doctor like they used to.
Yep.
And this one doctor on Wynn Way, I don't know if I'll be able to reach out to him. He started a clinic just for men because so many men have died of prostate cancer. 1 year, and this was in the 90s, we had 27,000 males that died from prostate cancer because they were afraid to go to the doctor, ashamed to go to the doctor. And when they did, it was at the last minute. So these are the type of people I'm trying to get out to say I'll come. But it's only going to be maybe from 10. I didn't talk to her about what time, but I thought it maybe 10 to 2.
Okay. And there's a company that I met with, I think it was 2 weeks ago, right here in City Hall, Oak Street Health.
Oh, they are good.
They I talked to them for maybe an hour or so.
Mhm.
And so they have already reached out and done some things with the city. And also I got them over to Stonecrest at their back to school
Okay.
supply. And they got a lot of hits there as well. And the senior center is on the list as well. I was going to talk to you about it to see how we can speak to Miss Hazel and
Well, you know what? If
get
you
them over
would
there too.
reach out to them, that would really be good. You know, one lady I did talk to, I got to see how people, you know, she does Reiki. She is her brother go to the church with Pastor Randolph. And she wanted to come too because they do healing. Also, they have a nutritionist, you know, and it's I told her I could check and see.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think I appreciate
Well, if you
that.
could
Thank you.
if you could set it up for me and just give me a day and time so I can get with them and see
September the
have.
16th,
at what time. You said 2:30?
10 to 2.
10 to 2:30.
But I'm gonna talk with Miss Hazel and see what she think. That's just me, you know. Cause sometimes when like Saturday we was at Redan, we went over to Redan and it was nice. But we went and we came, you know. But the thing is, some people don't like to stay long. And then once people start learning, they don't want to leave sometimes.
Yeah.
So also, you know, we need maybe a vendor two or three.
And that's what they are. They'll do the vendor part of it and give out information, and they'll, you know, teach you about all the different Medicaid, ABC, and all that.
Because I just met another lady. She was asking me to go over to, we used to call it Belvedere. She said they have a new clinic only for seniors. And she said, I love it. Would you go over there and just walk through the clinic and let people know what you're trying to do?
Right.
And I'm learning, you know, we're always saying Lithonia is a city that's, you know, full of seniors. Okay, let us be like other senior cities, learn how to take care of ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you're a senior doesn't mean that you got to stop living. How to learn how to embrace and live a better life.
Exactly.
I think that was the company that when we were going through COVID, they were going to different houses doing at-home COVID tests for us.
Right.
I think that's that company. Yeah, that company.
Yep. And actually, the guy that works there, I forgot what his title is. He graduated. He might have graduated with you or me. I'm not sure. But that's how we ended up connected. But long story short, we got you.
Good. Thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. All right. There is a need for executive session.
Okay,
It will be personnel. So
Is that on a Saturday?
I need a motion.
So get out of here.
I motion to go into executive session for personnel.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. All right, we can.
You want your
Let me see. Let's see who's gonna,
You know, those water to clean up.
do next press pause?
Turn.
Ourselves.
Can you press pause, please? Door shut, please.
in executive session.
Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. All right, no action at this time. In executive session, we will proceed as the attorney has told us to do so. All right? All right. At this time, we're back into our normal council meeting, agenda, and all we have left is to adjourn. And I think we have an announcement.
Yeah, no, it was just, we did speak about the attorney initially, right, as far as the bill and that. Okay, so I did contact the attorney, but it was on a personal matter, so that wouldn't count for it. I contacted him for referral, to somebody, because it's not anything that he does. So, and it was on Diane Howard, it wasn't on council. So I just wanted to,
Okay.
It has a breakdown.
okay, all right, I just wanted to,
Well, thank you for being transparent.
transparent, yeah, once I thought about it, I'm like, I think, well, you know.
Okay.
Just for clarity while we're on that topic, when you say emails, because you know they email me, I didn't email them, asking me questions about the one we were working on, you know, the blight ordinance.
So I'll be transparent. Most of that bill is not a complete, it's all regarding what? It's corresponding to from every phone call, email, place, in conversation of the person like we may hear from.
Conversation in parking lot.
Yeah, there was a conversation with somebody in the parking lot after a council meeting. That was it.
Was it a council person? We get charged everything.
So
Everything is, wow. Wow. Goodness.
So everybody needs to be made aware. that
Yeah, not just
One
council, yeah.
person, not the council, yeah, that they cannot, they don't have the liberty to contact the city attorney.
Right. Yeah.
It seemed like much, like you just think, oh, it's a quick conversation where I can just shoot a quick email,
Yeah.
quick issue. That kind of like, moment they go.
At my age, I think I'm going back to school to be an attorney.
They do have an hour, they don't have an hour they bill on?
They break it down like this, because email is like 24 hours.
What was the cost for the month? Do you know, have an estimate?
$500.
No, the whole month, 6,400.
6,400.
Like the blight was 2,500.
Oh, we had.
Wait.
We had more than that. We had much more
Yeah,
than that.
we have more than that. That's over the past few months.
Yeah, we had, yeah.
How do we track what they're
We had
counting?
Denmark.
I mean, I only have to say, they track everything, date, time, and everything. I have to.
Cause that we haven't been talking about blight that much. I'm trying to understand how.
Well, if they have a document that they have to read through, they on the clock, they charge them. So when you continue to send them documents, read through this, approve
Oh, I
that.
wasn't here that day.
Attorneys are expensive.
So they charge even more to travel and come to it. That's right.
That's why we don't, so not to go to some people like attorneys that are at every county.
Okay.
They did more. not
Unless we
Yeah.
really need this.
Cause we used to have it all.
So that's why.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they make it up, you have to have them, they have.
Yeah, there's gonna be something.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a heavier month that month.
What is the average?
And sometimes it's
I
low.
will tell you that that bill is a median and I guess a little drop in the bucket. When I worked with my previous employer, that bill ranged anywhere from 75 to 100. And that's out. I believe it out. They oftentimes walk away with $500,000 check.
Dang. Can I switch perspectives real quick?
Our bill is like, it is not one of our biggest bills from them, but from a city this size, we think that's.
Yeah, that's a lot. But what is it usually before though? That's on for our city.
I've only seen one other one, and we've had some lower. We've had some lower, like 3, 4 here and there, if we just didn't have a need to be a constant. But when we were kind of going heavy with the light, there have been a couple of ordinances and resolutions there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we've kind of been leaning on them a little heavier to keep other things in line.
Gotcha.
When they used to sit in here every council meeting, that bill, when I was, Mayor Pro Tem.
And they do go
at that time, he signed
Yes,
it.
they
It
do.
was 23,000. We've had, I'm like, and that's what we stopped. We said we got to stop.
We've been doing good, so don't
Yeah.
think, we're trying to,
I
y'all
think
about.
now
This is just a be mindful type thing.
Yeah.
Look, if you don't ask me questions, I'm gonna ask you questions. Sure.
They've been decent in those.
I didn't have his phone number. I had to get my phone number from somebody else. The other one, she's not with that phone anymore. But the one I had, phone number.
I can't,
For some reason,
they keep changing.
yeah, I had a number and I called it. She said, "Oh, I'm not even with the phone number, but I'll send her a note." She sent it up the phone to ask her referral. Okay,
All right, ready to adjourn?
I'm up to adjourn.
Second. Any discussion?
You gotta be loud.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it, meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Remember,
Have a good night.
when we was in Savannah, cause I had mentioned it to Mayor about, I didn't use the word representative, about the city having someone, the dog. You know, when I was talking to you, I think that I said another name start with a D. I was telling you, I said, we need a representative